Baby girls in third world countries being killed is due to economics, not prejudice against females who cannot assist with manual labor as well as males. Besides, mothers support the decision to kill their daughters. Boys aren't spared out of love, they are abused as laboring animals, so males lose too. I would rather die quickly than be worked to death. Again, it was men who created the labor-saving devices which rescued some girls from being killed, allowing women to compete with men as workers. Although women have invented things, the full documentation of men's inventions could span half a library. Saskatchewan blog owner Kate McMillan joked, "If women ran the world, people would still be living in caves, albeit with really, really fancy curtains." The greatest decree for and subsequent liberation of American women was the Emancipation Proclamation. Because half the liberated slaves were women. Therefore, it was women's liberation, in a sense. Some men fought and died for black women's rights, while others suffered being shot in their limbs, which were amputated without anesthesia. Neither advanced medical procedures that prevented deadly gangrene infection or anesthetics were available during the Civil War. Union soldiers died for these women by battling the Confederacy. Suffragists did not. Our 13th Amendment's condemnation of slavery and involuntary servitude chiefly liberated women, not our 19th Amendment allowing women to vote. Besides the 19th Amendment being enforced by men, there's no improvement in politics. Politics is now predominantly known for corruption, albeit by suave and handsome candidates. I'm well aware of past domestic violence against women when police were reluctant to intervene. But before police intervention was common, clans of male vigilantes often intervened on women's behalf, while other women ignored their so-called sisters. Now, a little bit of theology here. Wiccans claim to believe in both a goddess and God, who are equally powerful, so they claim equal authority for women, or sometimes a goddess who created that God, and then they co-rule. But if the goddess and God created people, why did they make men 100% more physically powerful than women, which made men dominant throughout human history? But if these deities simply created raw materials and allowed everything to evolve from there, they had 1 billion years in which to steer evolution so that men and women had equal physical power. Christian women were clearly subjugated to their husbands, as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. 1 Peter 3:1 and 1 Peter 3:5-6. Jesus' social reform included speaking to women when other men would not by creating feminism. He appointed 12 male apostles whom he instructed to appoint 70 male successors and 0 women successors. Also note 1 Corinthians 14:34-35. In a humorous cartoon, Jesus is being conked in the head by Mary, who says, "You knucklehead, appoint some women and avoid chauvinism." Jesus sheepishly complies. And to be logical, all forms of theology must be patriarchal. Now, historical women's rights and male privileges. First, historical women's rights. Not being victimized by crime and having grievances addressed by the civil authorities. My point is, crime against women was always illegal, not that it didn't happen. Crime against men always occurred too, but chivalrous persons sometimes intervene for women, not men. Right to live in nice homes with adequate food, drink, and clothing. Any woman who was undesirable lived with her parents and had the same amenities. Exemption from manly physical labor and warfare. Having leisure time and a social life. Exemption from paying bills. Being fully supported by a husband, parents, or the church. Historical male privileges, off limits to women. Holding office, running businesses, being judges, policemen, religious leaders, having teaching positions over men, and any other male role. Competitive and living wages. Owning property, in most circumstances. voting, speaking in public assemblies, and making any civic decisions, choosing a mate, or being the authority over the subsequent nuclear family. Actually, both. Authority over sexual and reproductive rights. Take care.